So we need to talk about the big news that came out just this morning, and that is that the House and the Senate have both passed the $1.2 trillion government funding package. In this package, which is over a 1,000-page bill, there's many different things. There's a 3% increase to defense spending. There's money for LGBTQ groups and members. There's some other stuff in there as well. We're going to get to some of that in just a moment. But the big news is that now Republicans are considering ousting the Speaker of the House just months before the next election. That's going to be huge because we still have issues with Israel. We have issues with Ukraine and the U.S. southern border. So I want to break down what's going on at this time and why some say this is going to be a crucial 3 to 6 months. So make sure you stick around for this entire video. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, the Senate did pass a $1.2 trillion funding package just this morning. And this is going to avoid the potential shutdown of the U.S. government. Now, in this bill, there's many things. But one of the things that's included in this bill is that, every bill that goes before the House is supposed to have a 72-hour window before they're asked to vote on it. That was the first thing that the Speaker of the House did not abide by. Because of that, many Republicans say that he simply went around his initial rule. And he created this rule to ensure that Republicans have the time that they can do their due diligence, go through a bill, and not vote on something that's going to get kicked back into their face later on, which is exactly what's about to happen. And it's going to happen because of this. Millions for late-term abortion clinic and transgender devices were buried deep in that $1.2 trillion spending package. And again, like I said, it's over a 1,000-page bill. It says right here, the 1,012-page bill released around 2:30 a.m. on Thursday includes earmarks that would go towards controversial LGBTQ plus facilities and late-term abortion clinic. Another request includes a multi-million-dollar proposal for what critics dub gun confiscation research. Now, the big thing here, okay, just from reading that, it was released at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday. So, yes, even if you start the clock at 2:30, here's the problem. Who's going to be up at 3:30 reading this? Not many people. This is part of the problem. But I want to play you a couple clips. One is going to be from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, where she wants to oust the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. This would be the second time in 1 year where Republicans have gotten rid of their Speaker, one that they have chosen simply because they have gone against what the majority wanted. Now, I want to play you a clip first of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Just listen to this.
But we have just reached an agreement to complete the job of funding the government. It is good for the country that we have reached this bipartisan deal. It wasn't easy, but tonight our persistence has been worth it.
So that's what he had to say. Again, according to reports, this bill was more of a Democratic bill. There was not a lot in here for Republicans. This is one of the reasons why Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is wanting to oust the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Just listen to this.
This is a betrayal of the American people. This is a betrayal of Republican voters. And the bill that we were forced to vote on forced Republicans to choose between funding to pay our soldiers and in doing so, funding late-term abortion. This bill was basically a dream and a wish list for Democrats and for the White House. It was completely led by Chuck Schumer, not our Republican Speaker of the House, not our conference, and we weren't even allowed to put amendments to the floor to have a chance to make changes to the bill. I filed the motion to vacate today, but it's more of a warning and a pink slip. I respect our conference. I've paid all my dues to my conference. I'm a member in good standing, and I do not wish to inflict pain on our conference and to throw the house in chaos. But this is basically a warning, and it's time for us to go through the process, take our time, and find a new Speaker of the House that will stand with Republicans and our Republican majority instead of standing with the Democrats.
So right there, she pretty much called out Speaker Mike Johnson, said this is a warning. That's all it is. This is a warning. But if he is not going to do his job, he's not going to give Republicans what they were asking for. They're going to, again, this is a motion to vacate. Soon, they're going to pretty much just tell him, you're done. Now, here's where things get very interesting. What was not included in this bill, and again, I just want to go through this. This bill doesn't include supplemental spending sought by Biden for Ukraine, Israel, and other security priorities. Johnson has said he plans to talk with his members and work on a supplemental security bill after a 2-week recess for Easter. Here's what you need to keep in mind. Is he going to talk with his members? Yes. Are they going to get anywhere? Probably not. Here's the reason why. He is wanting to pass a supplemental spending bill for Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific. We get that. But how much money is going to go to the U.S. southern border? How much money are we going to be able to secure the United States? That's the big question. And some say it's probably not enough. But I want to read you this one last thing. It says national security hawks warn Congress is throwing the Pentagon under the bus with inadequate spending bump. Keep in mind how much we have done over the past year. Okay? And I want to read you why they're saying this. It says the defense appropriations bill was unveiled as part of a larger $1.2 trillion spending package aimed at funding roughly 70% of the federal government. Defense spending accounts for $886 billion, about a 3% increase from fiscal year 2023. Now, if we just stop there, so it's a 3% increase. How many wars or potential wars were we preparing for or were we in 2023? Not many, right? We were helping Ukraine with Russia. We were at the end of 2023. That's when Hamas attacked Israel. Israel went back and retaliated against Hamas in Gaza, and they're still there. The United States is kind of involved in that as well. We also have those attacks that pretty much started in the Red Sea because of the Yemen Houthis. We have attacks against U.S. soldiers over in the Middle East. We obviously need to prepare for whatever's coming from China and obviously the threats from Russia. Well, do you think all of that is going to be taken up by a 3% increase? Yeah, that's where many say we did not go far enough because of the current tensions that the United States faces. It goes on to say lawmakers in both the House and Senate argued that the modest hike amounted to a spending cut when taking annual inflation into account and shared concerns that not enough is being allocated to military technology advancements. I also believe there's a 5.2% pay raise for military members as well. So that's going to take up a little bit of that money as well. But here's the thing. This bill passed. As of right now, I haven't seen anything that President Biden signed it, but all indications he signed it today. It's no big deal. The government has not been shut down. I believe the budget office, Congressional Budget Office, I believe they were instructing agencies to just continue as is, not lay anybody off, continue their same hours. Everything's still the same. So, with that said, here's where we're at. Republicans are not extremely happy, especially Republicans in the House. There are some in the Senate. Again, this bill in the Senate, this only passed 74 to 24. The majority of people that did not vote for this were Republicans. This bill also got a lot of votes in the House. But again, the majority of those people that didn't vote for that were Republicans. And the reason for that is because they're wanting more. They want to secure the U.S. southern border. But yet, they say too many of these, the priorities in this bill were Democratic priorities. And so, I don't know where we go moving forward, but the expectation is there's going to be some support to try to oust the speaker, Mike Johnson. Again, he is only the speaker because the former speaker, Kevin McCarthy, he was ousted many months ago. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you right now is if this speaker is ousted, it could be a bloodbath in the next handful of months. So we'll see what happens. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.